Christian families are among tens of thousands of Iraqis fleeing Mosul after Islamic militants seized control of the city. The jihadist group calls itself the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria and has a reputation of violent persecution of Christians.
In its continued pursuit of an Islamic caliphate, ISIS released a statement Friday to all Christians living in the city. Convert to Islam, pay a fine equivalent to about $470 for being Christian, or face death. CNN reports at least 52 Christian families fled Mosul Saturday morning, and an armed group restricted some of them from bringing anything but the clothes on their backs.
So all these people are from Karkosh, Bartala, and they're all fleeing the violence that was happening there?
كلها من قرقش. كل العالم انهزمت، كل واحد شد بابه وانهزم. عاف أموال وعاف أغراض وكلها.
طبعا احنا باقين، احنا حتى لو نموت شهداء من اجل منطقتنا. الحق ويانا احنا. يعني حتى اي واحد من عندنا يموت ما يفكر حتى ولا خايفين ابدا، ما نخاف. لا من المدافع لا من القصف، احنا باقين. ما طول عندنا هاي الكنائس موجوده باقيه، واحنا باسم يسوع المسيح ومريم العذراء هي تحمينا. عندنا ايمان جدا قوي، يسوع المسيح ومريم العذراء ويانا، فما نخاف.
ليش هالظلم؟ ايش عملنا لكم؟ كل هالمسيحيين ايش عملوا؟ بيش اذوكم المسيحيين؟ يعني مثل ما قال الرب يسوع: وضعتكم خراف في افواه الذئاب.
أنا قلت لك قد تخرخ لنساعدا من برخاخت الشنة قد تخرخ من إي كتير ودبخيات بني أمتن بيدنا قخامات الإيتوتن.
Memories are something that fade with time. Not only that, memories are something that are established in the frame of time, in the past. You have birthdays, you have weddings, you have anniversaries of all sorts. You have commemorative days, such as in America here we have 4th of July. Assyrian Martyr's Day should not be any different for any of us.
Those who don't know history are doomed to repeat itself.
None of us lived through those days, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen. By having a commemorative date, it helps to refresh our memory of what happened.
Because a lot of us are here today because of the people that survived all those years ago, and I think it's important for us to remember all those people that sacrificed themselves and couldn't survive.
تشئيتا تخرخلا ويطخ باسو قد أمسخ ملقخ جانا وقناشن خراية ما إبخ مو بعدخ مو بتادخ.
If it wasn't for these days, who knows what our future would have looked like? Who knows what our present would look like? We are here to remember the past, to learn from it, so we don't repeat those same mistakes.
If we don't keep talking about it and keeping it fresh in everybody's minds, then it's going to be forgotten, especially for the next generation who don't know what's happened.
We really no longer have a land of our own, nor a country to call our own. So if we don't continue to commemorate our Assyrian martyrs, then who will?
Well, we have to continue to carry their passion and to carry their vision and to deliver that to the next generation of our Assyrians. If ever their vision is lost, Atur is lost.
Well, if we continue our annual gatherings and spreading of what we already know and all of our knowledge, we can keep their cause alive.
Our honor and our tradition is established in those who came before us. And it is for us to live our lives in such a way that people will not forget those behind us.
وكل بالخانة يرك أبي قد أخمن أطراي أمسخ دارخ الأطرن أطر.
By preserving the language and preserving our culture, as well as educating the world about who we are and what Assyrians did.
بيد ليبتا ومالبتا تشعيت الأطراي وتخرتج سادة كتشيتا أخنا لخ بشواقا موت سادة هابا سابة.
شابن رابع أنا بغيت قد أخنا سوريا جيل قد بخايف لخا أخشراها قد يطخ مسكارن من إيكاتينا متزامة غريشنا قد أخنا كمسخ لخا
رابع أنا قتلا قد تخلق تاشيتان بخايدو أمريكا رابع هالسنة كأويخ مخن خراية إن قد تخلق ولا تخلق.
Well, our role as Assyrians, regardless of whether we're in America or Iraq or Iran or wherever it is to be actively involved and actively participating in supporting our Assyrians back home and achieving our basic human rights, achieving sovereignty, and living in peace.
It's our job as Assyrians to stick together and put up a united front against those who try to bring us down.
أخذوانك بريق جانتا وزارة من بعدوتي قد أبن خاكالا وسندانا قبل أمتي قد هلا بخاين يواترا.
I feel my role is to continue to preserve our culture and to pass it down to my children and for them to pass it down to their children.
If we don't stick together, then we're just going to assimilate into other cultures and we're going to go away.
بغزايون باليتي دخميان ليشانن وراز ريزد أمتن وملبنون قيال.
If I just stop for one moment and just imagine my life through the eyes of our brothers and sisters in the motherland, I'll quickly be reminded that I need to act in any way I can.
سبب آتر إيوان قرقشتت مردوتا رابع أنا قتلا قد أنا أليمة ألميات داها أمتا شمن تانخلي وكناش مرة شخ قد ماني إيبخ.
Being Assyrian, like I said before, it's something completely separate from anyone else in the world. We are all people, but our ethnicity is what makes us different, and in that I find beauty.
Well, I like to see the Assyrians living in peace and prosperity like every other nation. It's our basic rights as humans. But before that can happen, I'd like to see us unite amongst each other. That's anything from political organizations, religious, or even the villages that we're from.
We need to make sure that the young people recognize who they are as Assyrians, and so that they stand out.
I hope the Assyrian people can one day learn how to put aside all of their differences, whether they're religious or political or anything else that's been bringing us down within our own culture, and learn how to work together and be like a unified people.
اتلي خيودا كأمتن وأهيبي لبجرتا إلى قد خاشيتا وبدن الشن بيتايلا أم سخبني صندوق أخلا أطرن أطر.
قد أطراي أبي خويده وتشعيتا جبارتد أطر دسادن بنيونا قاتن لبليلا لقاماي ومكمليلا.
We're never going to be a large enough people. We can't be. Our population is too small to do that, whether it's in our native land or in our diaspora. But we can ensure that we are a shining beacon to all those around us.
Well, in the book of Isaiah, God talks about this highway from Egypt to Assyria that's supposed to exist. And my hope is for this highway to exist and for Assyria to exist.
إتلهيبي قد كوداتي ومتنسلم من نوراشا وبولاكا وزبيجي يخاخو يادا.
I pray for a safe haven, and I pray for safety and security. I urge all of us to set aside our differences and to come together as one and help our people back home so that we can continue to have a future as well.
And everybody knows who the Assyrians are and what kind of people we are and what we stand for.
كتبر بزيجي كل الدنيا ومتنعبي لا خانيشة نيشت مرمتت أمتا.
We may not see our own land in this lifetime, but my hope is to get back our own Assyria.
It doesn't matter how smart or how powerful an empire is. If you can divide an empire, you can conquer it. And I think it's time Assyrians stop dividing.
رابع أنا قلت لك التخرخ وتخاطر دفخيات دنناش أخن أديو باشورخ لشانن أطراي هنزمخله وباشورخ شكرخ لشبت إيشا مريان علاها وأعبخ بجماية أيدالة وهنزوم بأسد أطر.
أنا قلت لك الأليمة الأمياتا تخيلا سعدا قد يأتي بمد تشاتنيتا وبمد جنجارة عملة خميخ قيانا كقربابة شواء المشنة.
We need to speak up for who we are. As Assyrians living in this country, we have the media, we have everything we need around us. And we need to speak up for those who can't speak.
We all need to realize how blessed we are as Assyrians. We all have a responsibility as well. We need to maintain and strengthen our language, our culture, as well as educate each other.
They should be proud to be Assyrian because we have such a rich history and we've done so much for the world that nobody even knows about.
You need to be the voice to encourage that action. And then we need to work together with all of humanity, regardless of race, to make sure that everyone is recognized for who they are and everyone appreciates the beauty in that.
أنا قلت لك قد أليمة وليميات ويدي كتاشد سادن وتبابا فيرنا جابر قد ممضي لأمتنا داهدوكا وبديت داني من ديانة مالخ من صبرة قلبلت أمتن لقامة.
Well, I think it's important that we understand their sacrifice. Marbaniyam Shimon sacrificed his own brother for his people.
I think everybody should learn to be proud and embrace our history and our culture.
Gizmaitet خرابت نقله خاجر جماله كت جنجر تا ليلة شركت تالك شمي. أنا بخشابن الإمام الأمياتان يا تخيل سعدا وجرجر بخاك على راما كت دنيا شميلا ويدي مايبا.
The important thing for us to recognize is that we are Assyrian. And as Assyrians being born on this earth every single day, I don't see us going away anytime soon.
Our people have existed for thousands of years. We're not stopping now.
And when you look at other countries or other people that have experienced the same things, the Jews martyrs told everybody never again, and the Jews stood up and said never again. The Kurds, after their battle with Saddam, said never again, and they stood up and said never again. I think it's time Assyrians stood up together and said never again.
لمن شيخ
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 لمن شيخ